I want you to hear this first. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't fall out of alignment. The universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. I've been guiding people through transformation for over a decade, and I've seen this pattern more times than I can count. It's that season where everything you thought was stable starts to crumble. Plans dissolve. People you leaned on drift away. The certain becomes uncertain overnight. You try to be calm, tell yourself it's just a phase. Then doubt creeps in, then panic. But here's what I've learned. Maybe nothing is going wrong. Maybe everything is being realigned. When you start vibrating even slightly at a higher frequency, the quantum field, this invisible intelligence around you, begins reorganizing your life to match. That reorganization, often messy. It can feel like losing ground, but really, it's the old version of you dissolving so the new one can take its place. I've experienced this personally. Years ago, I left a safe corporate job to start my own coaching business. Within weeks, 3 major clients pulled out, my savings took a hit, and my phone stayed eerily quiet. On paper, it looked like failure, but in truth, the old business model I had, the one built on burnout and people-pleasing, couldn't follow me where I was headed. The collapse was making room. The discomfort you feel right now, it's not punishment, it's momentum. You're standing in the doorway between who you've always been and who you're becoming. And that space feels uncomfortable precisely because it's unfamiliar. Here's the tricky part. Your old coping strategies won't work here. The hustle, the control, the overthinking, those belonged to the old identity. The new frequency demands something different. Stillness, trust, and coherence. The universe doesn't respond to your wish list. It responds to your signal. And when that signal is mixed with desperation, fear disguised as strategy, or doubt dressed up as affirmations, the field waits, not out of cruelty, but out of precision. So what if nothing is delayed? What if this exact moment, this messy, in-between phase, is the space where your frequency is stabilizing into your new reality? The pruning before the bloom, the detox before embodiment. You're not stuck. You're being positioned. There's a space between letting go and receiving. It's not loud, it's not glamorous, and most people don't survive it without trying to fix it. This is the recalibration zone, the place where the old reality is gone, but the new one hasn't arrived. Think of it like the moment after you've jumped from one trapeze, but before you've caught the next bar. That weightless second in the air, that's where you are. In this space, it's tempting to dig up the seed to see if it's growing, to demand proof, but the quantum field doesn't respond to impatience. It responds to coherence, that inner steadiness that says, I trust, even here. I've seen people in this phase sabotage themselves without even realizing it. They mistake silence for failure and start pushing harder, overthinking and forcing outcomes. And all that trying creates resistance. Neville Goddard called this time the Sabbath. the rest between assuming your wish is fulfilled and seeing it manifest. It's not about doing nothing. It's about being still enough for your true frequency to emerge. I've been in that quiet space myself, and it feels strange, like being no one. You've outgrown the old self, but haven't fully stepped into the new. And that's okay. This is where your nervous system learns to hold the vibration of your new life without collapsing. Here's a practical tool I use. When doubt shows up, I ask myself, what part of me is resisting this? That question shifts me from fixing mode into listening mode, because often what we call fear is just the body's reaction to the unfamiliar. The field loves emptiness. Emptiness is potential. It's the purest signal you can send. The more you try to force change, the more resistance you feel. This is a truth I've seen play out in corporate boardrooms, yoga studios, and kitchen tables alike. The quantum field doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to resonance, the energetic yes that comes when you choose trust over control. But surrender is often misunderstood. It's not passive. It's not giving up. It's saying, I'm willing to let the universe arrange this better than I could force it to happen. When you stop interpreting discomfort as danger, everything shifts. Most of what you label as fear is actually unfamiliarity. You've started to broadcast a new signal, and your body is still adjusting to it. One of my clients, a single mom, dreamed of moving her family to another state for a fresh start. Every time she made progress, unexpected expenses popped up. She almost quit, thinking it was a sign. I told her, what if it's not a block, but a clearing? 3 months later, the house she wanted became available below market price. The so-called delays had been alignment in disguise. The work here is simple, but not easy. Observe your fear without becoming it. Respond with softness instead of panic. Radiate the energy of already having what you want. Abraham Hicks says you can't be in receiving mode and resistance mode at the same time. Allowing is intentional. It's the quiet courage to hold your frequency when nothing external reassures you. And here's the reward. When you stop chasing, you become magnetic. By now, you've probably noticed something. The test you thought the universe was giving you wasn't a test at all. It was a preparation. You're not being evaluated, you're being upgraded. And every upgrade requires a clearing. The field is precise. It listens for coherence, not effort. It doesn't respond to the words, I trust, if your energy says, I'm terrified. But the moment your emotional state aligns with the frequency of your desired reality, the shift happens sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly. Receiving is not about deserving. It's about readiness. The universe already wants to give you everything you've asked for. It's just waiting for your signal to be clear enough to receive it. That clarity shows up when you can feel joy without the outcome. You can feel safe without guarantees. You can soften even when the old fears whisper. I've seen this countless times. A man who stopped obsessively checking his phone for a job offer got the call within days. A woman who decided to live as if her dream partner already existed met him at the grocery store. In both cases, they became the evidence their energy spoke louder than their effort. This is your season of preparation. The silence you feel is not empty. It's full of movement beneath the surface. So, if right now you feel suspended between two worlds, remember, you're not lost. You're being aligned, and the most magnetic thing you can do is trust deeply, quietly, without needing proof. When you become the evidence of what you desire, reality can't help but reflect it.